Hello everyone, my name is Oluwale Godwin and welcome to Emoji Economics. Today's topic is what is the relationship between total product, marginal product and average product. So our topic today is a question and let's see how we are going to answer it. First, what is total product? Total product is simply the sum of all the quantity of a good or service that is produced by a consumer, by a producer rather, giving the inputs. Okay, giving the inputs. Then what is average product? Average product is simply product per unit of output per unit of input used. Okay, so average product is simply the product per, it's simply total product. Okay, divided by the amount of inputs used. Okay, be it labor, capital, or something else. But in economics, so far so good. We've been used to labor and capital and not really talk about the other factors of production. Then what is a marginal product? Marginal product is the change in total product that occurs when a producer uses an additional input. Okay, when he uses one more input. So the change that occurs in the total quantity produced is what we call the marginal product. Good. Under normal circumstances, this is how the total product curve is. So if you notice that this is a bar K, so it has a sign above it, okay, and this is L. This is simply saying that okay, this producer considers the amount of capital fixed. Okay, so capital is fixed there, and we only allow labor to vary. Capital is fixed. That's why it has the bar sign on it, and labor is varying. That is to say that different amounts of labor is being added to the fixed amount of capital. What we observe is that the total product curve is looks like this. So this is how it looks. It has an inflection point over here. Good. Before it continues and then finally slopes downward. So why does it have an inflection point? It simply has an inflection point simply because as this from here to where the turning point occurred, total product happens to be rising at an increasing rate. Okay, total product happens to be rising at an increasing rate. Then immediately the nature of the slope changes. Total product begins to rise, but at a decreasing rate. So it is still rising. Generally, it is still rising up to this point. But then the speed at which it rises now is changing. At first, we have total product rising at an increasing rate. That is, the marginal product is increasing. That's what it simply means, because marginal product is the change in total product. So the marginal product is increasing. So we have that is increasing. All right. So we have total product rising very fast. Then gets to a point where it starts to rise slowly. And at that point, we have our marginal product decreasing. That is, when an additional unit of labor is used, okay, or when an additional laborer is employed, what we see, the contribution of that laborer to the total product is smaller than what the previous laborer added. So that is what we are talking about. Then we have this particular point, which happens to be the maximum point. So where do we have the maximum point? The maximum point is where the marginal product is 0. Okay, so we are going to do an example. We are going to consider an example and then see if this is true or not. Then the total product becomes downward sloping. Immediately the marginal product becomes negative. That is, immediately an additional laborer is employed, and the laborer does not contribute positively to total product, and instead contributes negatively. All right. So in that case, the total product is going to fall, and we are going to say that later on. Okay. Then so this is a graph that talks about marginal product and average product together, right? So this marginal product at the beginning, this is just typical of how the MP and the AP should look. At the beginning, we have the marginal product rising, okay, faster than the average product. So average product is rising, of course, but then marginal product is rising faster than the average product. Okay, then we have the marginal product gets to its maximum point, okay, and then begins to slope downward. Then what do we still observe? While it is sloping downwards, our average product is still rising. Marginal product is already downward sloping, but then the average product is still rising. And the marginal product curve then cuts the average product curve at the average product curve maximum. Okay, so at this maximum point, we have the marginal product curve cutting the average product curve. Okay, so then it becomes downward sloping. Now it rises faster as well than the average product. Okay, here, no, it reduces faster than the average product. At the beginning, the marginal product rises faster than the average product, and it gets to this point where the marginal product decreases faster than the average product. So let's consider a typical example. Here we have a table. This is labor. Okay, if you have only labor here, we are simply assuming that capital is fixed. So labor from no laborer employed to the employment of 7 laborers, then this happens to be their total product, that is the quantity that they produce. And this happens to be the average product, that is total product divided by the amount of labor used. And this happens to be the marginal product, that is change in total product that occurs from a change in the number of laborers employed. Okay, so we have 0, 0, all of that. When one laborer was employed, he contributed 10 units to total output. Okay, average product in that case is simply average product. Average product in that case is simply the total product, which is Q divided by the number of laborers used, which is more technically we call this the APL, that is the average product of labor. Since we are only talking about the employment of laborers. Then when 2 laborers were employed, we have 25 units of output, that is in total. Then average product is now 25 divided by 2, okay, and then we have 12.5. The additional laborer, that is MP, okay, MPL, the additional laborer, which is change in TPL divided by change in L. The additional laborer is now contributing 15 units to the total output. Now from there we have another laborer that is contributing 18 units to total output, 17 units. Then we have the fourth laborer, okay, when he was employed, or when he or she was employed, now contributes 17 units to total output. So this is a decrease. This is a decrease. Although total output is still rising. Then we have the fifth laborer contributing 15. Total product is still rising. The sixth laborer contributing 9 to total product. Okay, total product is increasing by 9. And then we have the seventh worker contributing nothing to total product. It simply means it's to this producer. Okay, it doesn't make any sense economically to employ the seventh laborer, since he or she is not contributing anything to total output. Now we sketch our graph. So this is the total product of this table, right? So we have to plot Q against L. So Q, which is also known as the total product. So this is what we have. I have to sketch this curve underneath. Okay, so this is the MPL, which happens to be the marginal product of labor. That is the curve. Then this happens to be the curve of the average product of labor. Now K has the bar on it, which simply means that capital is fixed and labor is only varying factor of production. Okay, we also have that here. What did we observe along this line? So this is along this line we have the marginal product rising. Okay, the marginal product is rising up to the third laborer, Okay, up to the third laborer. After the third laborer, we have the marginal product decreasing, and that is why you have the inflection point. Okay, which is to tell us now that total product was increasing before, but was increasing at an increasing rate before, but right now it is increasing at a decreasing rate. So we should take note of the fact that total product is still rising even when the marginal product is falling. Okay, that simply means that for every additional laborer employed, total product is still rising, but the extent to which total product is rising is what is changing here. So it is rising at an increasing rate here. Then immediately you have the inflection point, it starts to rise at a decreasing rate. Then on and on and on. Okay, as additional laborers are employed and they contribute lower and lower amounts to the total product, we have the total product curve becoming more gentle. It becomes more gentle or less steep, any I want to say it. Okay, it becomes more gentle up to the maximum point. So the maximum point is where the seventh laborer is employed. So okay, where he contributes nothing to the total product. So any point beyond this 7 is going to be under the positive aspects of this graph, which is going to be a negative contribution of the additional worker. And when there's a negative contribution of the additional worker, so we have something like this, the total product falling. Okay, so looking at this, we have the marginal product and the average product curve, okay, intersecting at, they both start from 0 and then up to this point, 10 before they disperse, okay, which simply means when we look at the calculation, the average product here is simply 10 units divided by 1, that is 1 laborer, and then we have 10. As well, the marginal product, this is the change in producing nothing and then producing 10 units now, is simply 10, okay, this 10 minus 0, okay, divided by 1 minus 0. Okay, so marginal product is simply the first marginal product, MPL1 is 10 minus 0, okay, divided by 1 minus 0, and that is 10. Okay, so we have the marginal product and the average product being equal at the very first unit. Okay, so it might not be the very first unit in another case. This might be 10, 20, 30, and so on and so forth. But then for the very first positive units, okay, for the very first positive units besides 0, okay, we have the marginal product and the average product intersecting being the same before they then spread. Alright, so what do we observe? The marginal product here is rising faster than the average product before it begins to fall, cutting the average product at its maximum at the average product curve maximum point, which is 15. Okay, but before it starts to reduce, now it reduces faster than the average product. So what we also need to also reiterate is the fact that marginal products might be falling and average products still rising. Okay, so and that is what we have here. Marginal product is falling and average products still rising. And that is why the marginal product curve can intersect the average product curve as the average product curve maximum point. Okay, so that is the end of this class. Okay, we believe we've touched every aspect of this particular topic. So if you have any question concerning this, please leave your questions in the comment section or under this video. Remember to like the video, share with your friends, okay, and then subscribe to this channel for more educative and interesting videos.